In German, we have a saying that goes, Totgeglaubte leben länger. Those believed to be dead live longer. Perfectly fitting for Etihad Airways' Airbus A380 fleet. Because in a March 2021 interview, CEO Tony Douglas stated that for its 10 Airbus A380s, it's very likely that we won't see them operating with Etihad again. Well, in the same interview, he also expected the Boeing 777X to be operational by 2023. And, it's 2026 now, and it isn't. So, the Superjumbo, believed to be dead, has been resurrected. Of the original 10 A380s, part of Etihad's fleet, 7 are in operation as of January 2026, with another 2 slated to return over the course of the year, meaning by 2027, 9 out of 10 will be back in service, with the 10th one unfortunately scrapped already in Teruel, Spain. Since the pandemic, the carrier has also adapted the schedule of its A380 fleet. Before 2020, Etihad used its A380s on flights to Paris-Charles de Gaulle, London Heathrow, New York JFK, Mumbai, Sydney, and briefly to Melbourne and Seoul Incheon. Since then, they switched New York JFK for Toronto, ended A380 service to Australia and Seoul, but have begun operating the Superjumbo to Singapore and starting June 2026 to Tokyo Narita. Mumbai has always been a filler for gaps in the A380 schedules, came and went away multiple times. Currently, Mumbai is not served, but that doesn't mean it might not come back again in the future. With the A380 fortunately sticking around for a few more years, it's time we gave it a try to see what it's like after its pandemic-era groundings. So today, let me take you along on a flight from Abu Dhabi to London Heathrow. I'm excited to bring you along, so let's get going. Aviation geeks and frequent flyers, welcome to this new episode of our flight review series Brutally Honest, where we take a close and detailed look at what airline products are like around the globe with a focus on economy class. And that's what we're traveling in today as well. We just arrived aboard Etihad's Boeing 787 from Beijing Dasing, a flight that wasn't as interesting, which is why we covered it only in a subtitled trip report. Keep in mind, on our channel we will continue to post some flights as trip reports with just subtitles, which are much less work for us. And if you prefer one style over the other, you can keep them apart by the colored text boxes in the thumbnails, with blue ones meaning no narration and all information in the subtitles, and red ones meaning full-fledged narrated reviews with elaborate graphics. Abu Dhabi has finally had the glow-up it deserved, with its new unified terminal opening in late 2023, around 6 years later than planned. This has allowed Etihad to grow significantly in recent years, and it has improved the transit and departure experience notably. Like on all airports in the Middle East, we had to clear security once again for our transit, but had no need for a passport control. This process was completed efficiently, meaning we are ready to head out again after just a few minutes. We recently covered Qatar Airways' longest flight in economy class, a journey of 17 hours in a narrated review. The second part of this, due next week, will cover the transit in Doha, and in a side-by-side comparison, I cannot help myself but see all of the things I didn't like about Doha done right here in Abu Dhabi. It's a much brighter terminal and thus has a warmer, more welcoming feel to it. I also appreciate its straightforward layout and plentiful availability of food outlets, albeit with typical airport prices. EY19 to London Heathrow, that's our flight. It's one of 4 daily Etihad flights into London, all of which to Heathrow, with 2 currently being operated by the Airbus A380, increasing to 3 in summer of 2026. Over there is the Superjumbo taking us to the United Kingdom. Alpha 6 Alpha Papa India, a 2016-built Airbus A380, the second youngest in their fleet, which were all delivered between 2014 and 2017. We're boarding the plane through door 1 on the main deck. It appears they're not using the second door despite having a jet bridge connected. It's the first aisle for us today as we're seated in a portside window seat, which we paid extra to reserve at booking. The main deck economy class aboard the Airbus A380 always comes with 10 seats per row in a 3-4-3 layout. Etihad Airways chose Weber 5751 seats in economy class, made by an American seat manufacturer that is now owned by Safran. On the upper deck, you will find 70 business class seats made by Stilia Aerospace, as well as 9 first class suites and the legendary Residence, which is a first class suite with an adjacent private bedroom and bathroom. We're traveling closer down to Earth, literally, with our main deck economy seat being 74A, the last row of the third section of economy class. I chose this one as it only consists of 2 seats as opposed to all other window side rows, which come with 3. Immediately visible is Etihad's sand-colored design palette, representing the vast desert of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. The fact that these decade-old seats still look modern and elegant goes to show how well designed they were back in the day. Waiting on each seat already is a pillow with a cover made from real fabric. These are much more comfortable than the ones with single-use covers, which you would find aboard Emirates and Qatar Airways, so that's a big plus for Etihad in my book. We've also got a pair of headphones and a blanket, which oddly wasn't packaged. That's a bit concerning, given that on my previous flight from Beijing to Abu Dhabi, the blanket came with a wrapper. The absence of such leads me to question whether it has been used before, which would be unacceptable, but there's no way for me to confirm that. The seat itself is loaded with useful features within easy reach, including a coat hook, universal power port, remote control, USB-A port, and audio port. Being 183 centimeters tall, the legroom is alright. I appreciate the handy extra pockets on the back of the regular seatback pocket. The tray table can be used half-opened or fully opened, but don't come with cup holders anymore, which seem to have been installed at some point. In the ceiling above, you'll find personal reading lights, which are not adjustable. Missing altogether are personal air vents. Unique features of these seats are the fixed ears, which make sleeping a lot more comfortable in my opinion. They are adjustable vertically though. And you can even adjust your lumbar support, which is what the second button is for. Boarding an A380 using one jet bridge for the main deck takes some time, so let's make use of it and check out Etihad's in-flight entertainment system. It comes with impressively large screens for seats made in the mid-2010s and runs on Panasonic's X3 platform. You can browse a wide variety of movies and TV shows by an impressive number of different languages. Some TV shows also come in box sets of multiple episodes to binge. A great selection of music is available too, as are a variety of games. Live TV can be streamed as well. Beverages can be ordered to your seat via the entertainment system at any time, which is another fantastic feature. And I also love the A380's onboard cameras. Lastly, there is a 3D mapping application offered too, rounding up an all-around phenomenal entertainment system. The bag with the headphones also contained a little amenity kit. What a nice surprise. Inside, a pair of eye shades with indicators whether you want to be woken up for the meal or not, as well as a pair of earplugs, toothbrush and toothpaste, and some sanitizing wipes. The headphones are alright, perfectly acceptable for this flight. Before departure, the crew also handed out menu cards. That's something we did not get on the previous flight, meaning that it might be an optional feature depending on the route and time of day. We'll be served breakfast after departure, with 3 choices for the main course, as well as a hot snack before landing. Knowing what's provided gives me quite the extra comfort, I have to say. I highly appreciate airlines giving information about their meal services, be it as a menu card, on their website or app, the entertainment system, or even an announcement before takeoff already helps. And just means I don't have to guess how to time my meals and snacks to not get too hungry in between.
Cruise instructions. Your life jacket is located under your seat in the residence, business, and economy, or in the side panel of your seat in front.
Now we're finally pushing back on our making our way to London. This Boeing 787-9 came in from Mumbai earlier this morning and will head out to Hyderabad in a few hours.
Window blinds open. Our cabin crew will now pass through the cabin.
الغلاف وضعوها فوق رأسكم. اربطوا شريط السترة حول خصركم واسحبوه لتضيقوها. انفخوا سترة النجاة فقط عند مغادرة باب الطائرة. لنفخ السترة اسحبوا المفتاح.
Onboard camera is ready, we are good to go. This Airbus A320 of Air Arabia is being ferried in from Sharjah. The plane will operate a charter flight down to Socotra Island of Yemen later today. It's a fascinating route and an even more fascinating place to visit, and since we're all about those unique places and air routes, we have a video covering this exact charter flight coming up in the future. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel to not miss this or any of our many other upcoming videos. Right after departure, the crew is starting to serve breakfast. The three choices available were a savory Western one, a savory Indian one, and a sweet Western one. I went with the Indian option, which consisted of, from left to right, rawa idli, which are South Indian semolina dumplings, upma, a thick porridge also made from semolina, and sambar, a spicy lentil curry. To drink, the classic morning combo of coffee and orange juice. A 200 milliliter bottle of water was provided with each meal too. It also came with a blueberry muffin, a cup of yogurt with mango compote, and some fresh fruit. Also appreciate the metal cutlery. All in all, a tasty and well-balanced breakfast, although I cannot help myself finding the combination of rawa idli and upma a bit odd, as they're both semolina based. Maybe I am not versed enough in Indian cuisine, and locals who are watching this video can correct me if that is in fact a suitable combination and not at least a bit atypical. A notable plus point in my book is the fact that one of the three base options is vegetarian. I've mentioned in previous videos that for various reasons I believe one of the base options should always be vegetarian, and that wasn't just the case today, it was also a tasty and well-made dish. After the meal, it's smooth sailing towards London. One little advantage of the A380, especially for nervous flyers, is that due to its size, turbulences are often not felt as strongly. In general, the plane is a pleasure to travel with, as it's super quiet inside the cabin. But it's a smooth ride too, similar to how a large cruise ship is steadier than a small ferry. Cruising over the snow-covered mountains of eastern Turkey. The dark back of the seats combined with the sand tones of the fabric give the cabin an unusually elegant vibe. Maybe I am exaggerating because it's not that special, but it just feels nice. The lavatories are really nice too. The faux mosaic pattern on the wall and floor, combined with the indirect lighting, just marvelous. Never thought I'd call an airplane lavatory marvelous. Feature-wise, it's simple. There's a changing table and little cups for when you brush your teeth, but not much else that's noteworthy. Over there in the distance, you can see the 2 runways of Amasya Mersifon Air Base. Got myself a cup of Coke on the way back. After a movie that I partly napped through, we are cruising over Lake Balaton in Hungary, and the crew started handing out hot snacks. This is the tomato and cheese calzone, which is served alongside a piece of generic apple cake. Once again, alongside beverages of choice. Although based in a Muslim-majority country, Etihad Airways offers both non-alcoholic as well as alcoholic beverages free of charge. All standard meals and menu items served are halal though. As we're getting closer to London, I have to say I am thoroughly impressed by Etihad's Airbus A380. For aircraft that were delivered between 2014 and 2018, they are in impeccable shape. Most passengers would notice barely a difference to aircraft being delivered right now. Any feature you might ask for is there. The meals are substantial and tasty, varied and thoughtful. And with Abu Dhabi's new terminal, the carrier has become a pleasure to travel with. Dare I say it might be my favorite one of the Middle East's big 3? The difference to Emirates and Qatar Airways is minuscule though, and I do not believe it makes sense to pay more to choose one over the other. All 3 are fine, and going with the cheapest option is totally alright. Areas in which Etihad could improve still are the legroom, which is good but not great, the pre-landing snack, which was a bit uninspiring, and the main meal service could be further improved by a little chocolate or crackers like Emirates offers. And if you insisted on comparing who has the biggest, on my recent flights on Qatar Airways and Emirates, they offered water bottles of 350 and 250 milliliters respectively, while Etihad provided only 200. You might call this pedantic, I call it being detail-focused. But still pedantic. With that, welcome to London Heathrow. It was a pleasure to take you along today's journey. I hope you had a great time, enjoyed this video, and hopefully learned something new. If you enjoy pedantic, detail-focused flight reviews like this one, please consider subscribing to our channel as we have plenty more coming up. If you wish to further support our mission, just like all of these amazing people already are, please consider becoming a channel member. With as little as €2 per month, that's just €24 a year, you can help us secure the best seats, invest more time and effort into graphics and editing, and simply bring you along an ever-growing number of airlines. But whether you are a channel member, a subscriber, or were simply stopping by for this one video, thank you very much for watching. I will see you again for a new video very soon, and until then, safe travels. If you are down for another video, why not check out our review of Lufthansa's Airbus A380, another airline whose CEO claimed it wouldn't come back after the pandemic, but the 777X delays led them to regain their usefulness at Lufthansa too.